Hello Ratbags, it's Jade Plays Games. We are finally nearly here. Aberration looks like it's going ahead as planned. We just got confirmation or wordings on the grapevine that it has passed certification and it is ready to go. We're going to be live with Aberration. I know you guys are getting hyped. The last few weeks has been a little bit better. Hype for it has been generating and all them delays hopefully will be worth it once the game comes out, once the new DLC comes out. So, what to expect with Aberration? Well, here's the checklist of what you need to know about Aberration before you jump in. They've nearly revealed every single dossier. The only one we've not seen so far is the lamprey and any type of final boss. So currently right now there are actually 15 creatures as of we know in Aberration. What we don't know yet is whether or not what we assume is the Reaper King is going to be either the final boss or just another creature. If it's another creature, that means there's technically 16 creatures in Aberration rather than 15. If it turns out that is the final boss or it is going to be one of the bosses, then that obviously just means there's only 15 overall. We do know there is some sort of Ascension gameplay in the game as well, but we don't know whether it's going to be tied directly to a boss fight or it's going to be like the island where you face 3 bosses and then you go and face the final Overseer boss in the Ascension. So what other creatures are there? Well, currently confirmed at the moment, we've got the Achatina, the Diplodocus, the Piranha, got the Anglerfish, the Electrosaurus, the Eels, the Scorpions, the Arthroplura, the Equius, the Titan Boas, the Baronyx, the Iguanodons, the Triceratopses, the Beelzebub Buffos, the Lycosaurus, the Trilobites, the Carbonires, the Megalosaurus, the Raptor, the Carnotaurus, the Mesopithecus, the Saber-toothed Salmon, Synadra, Moschop, Spinosaurus, Fish, Otters, Stegosaurus, Dodo, Parasaur, Dimetrodon and the Parasinium, otherwise known as the Penis Horse. If you was expecting Gigas and T-Rexes there's no confirmation yet, they're both in the actual map. You will be able to take these Aberration versions and transfer them to the island, to Scorched Earth, to the Centaur, to Ragnarok, but currently, as of launch, you will not be able to transfer any creatures in or out until they decide that everything is ready to go. Just like they did with Scorched Earth, they held off for a little while allowing people to transfer creatures or items. You will not be able to do anything other than load your character. The recommended character level is around 60, but of course if you're brand new, I'm sure you're going to just jump on it and try it anyway. In the past, the devs have said the actual Aberration map will be a gentler learning curve. It's not going to be as harsh as Scorched Earth, and it will be slightly easier. And some basics about the actual DLC itself. It's going to be $20 if you're buying it on its own, or it becomes part of the Season Pass. If you've bought the Season Pass, Aberration will unlock for free. Now this seems really basic and really simple, but you'll be surprised how many stupid questions I get like this in the comment section. If you've bought Season Pass, you will have Aberration for free. If you've not bought the Season Pass, you will need to pay for this DLC. Regardless whether you're using early access or not, this is paid DLC. So when can you get hold of the DLC? At 8 AM Pacific time, around 4 PM UK European time. It should just show up on the Xbox storefront or the PS4 storefront or in your library where you can download it. No real rough idea of how big it's going to be, but I've heard some reports say it's going to be around 10 GB. If you're setting up a cross-Ark server, then you need to make sure you've got all the right correct settings on and you set up your cross-cluster servers. I've got a tutorial coming out on that and that should be available in the morning. So what can you expect from Aberration? Well, the actual map itself, there are 4 main regions. You've got the Fertile Chamber, which is like the starting area where everything's a little bit easier. Of course, there will be lots of killer dinos and creatures in there, but that is where the main part of the game will take place at the beginning. You've then got the Bioluminescence Chamber and you've got the Element Chambers. Now the Bioluminescence is a lot more dangerous, it's a lot darker, and you probably will need lots of the brand new mechanics or creatures that give you this charge, this light, this element. And then finally we've got the Element Chamber itself and the surface. The surface is a dangerous place to be. You're not going to be able to go up there without the correct equipment, and you've still got to be careful about what times you go up there. There is a day and night cycle of sorts, but it's not technically day and night. It just means there's more radiation at certain times of the day or certain days. Affecting the whole map will be these tremors or earthquakes. In certain parts of the map, these tremors or earthquakes will actually cause damage to structures. In other parts it might do less so. It might just be a case of only repairing something occasionally. You can build almost anywhere on the game, but if you do plan on building somewhere on the surface, expect it not to last too long. Alongside the new building mechanics, of course, is the actual brand new cliff platform. Very similar to tree platforms. There is no extra brand new building tiles being added to the game. It is still the same stuff you're used to playing on normal Ark Vanilla. There's going to be no unique building materials. It's literally just the tree or cliff platforms, alongside some other things like drop down ropes. Now, amongst all these regions, there are going to be specific smaller biomes, so some areas will have more of some resource than others, and you're going to still be able to explore them. There are going to be many smaller caves that lead off from some of these areas as well. You are going to be looking after this element or this charge. That is what you're really after. To do so, you need to avoid the nameless. They appear when basically there's none of this charge, this element around you. At first it may be smaller nameless, these little horrible rat-like creatures, but if you don't necessarily get enough charge or get away and escape, there soon will be even more, and maybe even a Reaper Queen. There's going to be 4 smaller creatures that can hold charge and will basically give you the ability to ward off the nameless more. You've got the Bulb Dog, the Featherlight and Shinehorn. Not to mention this cute little creature, the Glowtail. Not to be confused with the Glow Bug. These are just normal bugs that go around the map, and you can actually pick them apart and take the charge from them. Very much like the moths on Scorched Earth, you will simply take out the charge and it can help replenish your own charge. One of the biggest ones that I'm sure people are going to be desperate to tame are the Rock Drake. Reports are coming in that it is going to be exactly the same taming method as Wyverns. So you might not be able to actually tame one directly. You're going to have to get some of its eggs and then bring it along and actually raise the eggs up, just like you did with Wyverns on Scorched Earth or Ragnarok. That would make sense, as it's meant to be a sort of mutated form of a wyvern. No idea where we'll actually find these eggs or these creatures' nests. I'm presuming they're going to be somewhere quite dark, dank and dangerous, like the Bioluminance cave, or maybe there is like somewhere on the surface, like a deep crack or deep trench that they lay in. It's been confirmed by lots of the game art that these are going to be probably one of the most popular mounts, a little bit like a Fire Lacko. These creatures are going to be able to jump across running lines like zip lines, as well as obviously climb rocks and things. There's going to be a load of ruins and lore in the game. Some of these ruins will obviously house lots of explorer notes and things to explore and discover more of. One of the main creatures in the game, the main enemies, is going to be the Reaper Queen. Now, you're not going to be able to directly tame the Reaper Queen, but you can get her to do your bidding. Now, the idea is that you can get her to lay eggs in your enemies. They will somehow ingest it or get diseased, or these tiny little critters will grow inside them and eventually burst out of the chest, just like the Alien movies. We saw some of this at the last TwitchCon. These creatures that will burst forth from the chest, you will not be able to tame. They are simply just to reduce someone's health or kill them. When this does happen, the chances are you are going to be brown bread. It'll be interesting to see if there's any lasting effects. Maybe they should make it a debuff on stamina or health overall if you do keep getting infected with these. There are so many brand new creatures to come and to take a look at. I'm going to be one of the first to show you guys how to tame them, where to find them, and what their quirks, what their benefits are. Going back to servers and the actual game modes, expect there not to be a big choice. There's going to be obviously PvP and PvE, but don't expect there to be a bunch of other servers like No Tech, etc. I'm sure they're going to just concentrate on PvP and PvE at launch. They've given no actual time frame of when they're going to open up the Aberration servers for people to download dinosaurs and items, but I reckon it'll probably be around a month's time before they allow people to actually transfer dinos across servers. Now remember, you cannot bring any dinosaurs into the Aberration map. You can only bring outside ones. There are no flyers on Aberration. You will not be able to bring in any flyers, period. The game devs have specifically said they wanted it to be a new experience and be more of a challenge, and that's why they're relying on creatures like the Rock Drake to get you around the map more. Now, I reckon they may change it that you can transfer creatures into the maps in time, but I still think they're not going to allow flyers. There is lots of talk about who the boss is, as so far the leading contender is that it's Rockwell. That comes from a host of YouTubers and friends of mine that have been telling me all about the research they've been doing. There's a bunch of new items to help you get across the map, including the climbing hooks, the zip lines, and of course the drop down ladders. Not to mention the wing glider suit as well. The wing glider suit will fit every type of armour except tech tier. So yes, there will be tech tier on Ark Aberration. We have seen in the live stream there is a tech sleeping pod. The actual tech sleeping pod is probably going to be put into the whole main game. As far as we know, you don't have to do anything like Ascend 2 or Ascend 3 like you did for Ragnarok to access the maps. When Ragnarok came out on the actual console, that alongside the centre map you had to do a stupid cheat or glitch to unlock the 2 maps unless you'd already ascended. But I don't think that's the case. Don't need to have ascended to actually play Aberration. You can go ahead and join it as a fresh brand new Bob. There we go guys, there's a bunch more information, but I'm just getting so hyped for it now, I can't wait. I'm going to be preparing my videos rest of the night. I can't wait for launch coming. Expect there to be some type of live stream on launch day. I will see you in Aberration very soon.